play quickly to the opposite end. Out wide now, finds Timo Melic. Melic now will have a go from distance, and that one curls over the top of the crossbar. First real opportunity that we've seen from the under-23s from Oklahoma City, and that one was a few feet over the top of the bar.
Yeah, Melic, the lad from Mönchengladbach in Germany. 2 Germans in the team. Good shot there, and you see with the modern football these days, not easy for keepers. That was kind of swerving around, but it was a good feet over. But first opportunity for the under-23s from Oklahoma City. Long way back from them now. Next goal, of course, pretty vital in this game.
Here's Chidama. Finds Paris G. Paris with plenty of space. Up past the halfway line. We'll leave here for Brady Ballou. Ballou probing and searching. Colin Fernandez. Kosuke with Calistri. Boy, Calistri, someone we haven't even mentioned his name yet, and boy, what an incredible 2 games that Joey Calistri has had.
Do you know what? You took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking, we haven't seen anything of Calistri. He's on the left-hand side there, but wow. Thursday, Saturday, he was on fire. And he came on a sub, didn't he, on Saturday? He did. Having a little rest, but he was back in the action, and that finish for the, the 4th goal was magnificent.
There's no telling in this sport truly what the future holds, but in my estimation, just seeing the growth of Fernandez and Calistri over the first 2 months of the USL season, the Chicago Fire have to be truly happy with what they've seen so far.
You're right. We talked about it, didn't we, Pop, in the commentary on Saturday, that, they must be on the phone daily, Dave Vaudreuil and Chicago Fire, and, getting daily reports. And whilst it's going to be Roughnecks' loss, we love having them here, don't we, on the season-long loan. And you know how much I think of both of those players, Colin Fernandez and Calistri. And it's just great for the manager. In one way, he's got a real headache on the other. How do you pick a starting 11 when the Roughnecks are on fire like this? But it's good for the club.
OKC Energy under 23s has a local flavor as well. Machado graduated from Oklahoma Wesleyan University. We played for 2 years. He's a member of the Eagles for the last 2 seasons. Had 41 matches, scored 12 goals, and had an assist. He is the native of Brazil. Quite the roster with not only Machado but John Bell and midfielders Ruiz and Christian Okeke also to the roster.
And there's a local lad, isn't there, on the bench? The goalkeeping son is Austin Parker from Piedmont. You'll have to tell me just how far Piedmont is from Tulsa, my friend.
It's quite the distance.
Okay.
Better get on your horse if you're going to Piedmont.
Right. Well, I did drive to Woodward the other day for a high school game. That was quite a long trip.
Yes, it was. Mother-in-law lives out that direction, so I am well aware of that long-distance drive. Here's Pasha trying to battle in the corner. Well done there by the defender. Had it taken away, though. Oklahoma City doing well to bring this one out of the corner. Here's a throw-in. Referee points in the direction. That's Matt Trotter, who is our official here this evening. Points in the direction of Tulsa. Also, Ruiz graduated from Oklahoma Wesleyan as well. Played in the last 2 seasons with them. Lots of Open Cup matches taking place. As a matter of fact, a lot of them are underway and streaming live. Of course, we're keeping an eye on the Dutch Lions and the San Antonio FC. That one just maybe a tad bit far in front of Christian Mata. By the way, the Dutch Lions, that is taking place in Conroe, Texas at the Dutch Lions FC soccer facility, taking on San Antonio FC. Roughnecks advance, and we will be back here on May 31st between those 2 teams.
Yeah, and as I said in the build-up, wouldn't it be great to have a really good cup run? It just helps you, like I said, FA Cup in England, the US Open Cup here. The little teams get to play the big boys. It's just fascinating the way it goes on, and there's always a giant killer out there somewhere. But we're hoping the Roughnecks can progress.
Roughnecks will play short with Kosuke. Colin Fernandez there as well. 1-2 passing, which was so prevalent in the 2 games earlier this week.
Ayala's had a good game so far. He's
Yes,
got the goal.
yep. There's a run forward from Kosuke. Haven't seen that much this season. Great curling ball in. Ballou is there. Well, not the best effort from Brady Ballou as he raises his hand on the ball from Kosuke.
Yeah, Kosuke, they're getting a good ball into the box from the left-hand side, and I think Rivas and Brady just kind of got in each other's way a little bit. Brady must have given a shout, but then he was kind of side on with his head, and it just sort of looped away for a goal kick. But good play from Kosuke, and it shows how flexible when you've got one of your back 3 who's getting up there on the left wing to get the ball in.
By the way, the big club for the Energy also in action tonight. They are at John Crane Field on the campus of University of Oklahoma as they are taking on Moreno Valley Football Club from California. That one is underway, and if we have an update for you, we'll bring that to you here in just a few moments.
And I'm assuming, Pop, that Oklahoma Energy could not play the under-23 Oklahoma Energy. Do they keep them apart somehow?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah.
Switchbacks in action tonight as well, taking on FC Tucson. Orange County, who the Roughnecks defeated 4-0, coming up a little bit later as well. A couple of finals from earlier today in the Open Cup as well. We'll get those to you here in just a bit.
Of course, we talk about the first team of Oklahoma City Energy. We've seen Van Campanol play. He's playing at the back, isn't he? We've seen him play for a couple of different teams. I think he's at Swope Park Rangers, wasn't he?
Yeah, Van Campanol was, I thought, a pretty valued member.
Yeah.
As there's a foul there at midfield of Oklahoma City, and spent last year with Sporting. And in the continued development of his career, has him now playing in PDL with the under-23s. He played 4 years of college at UNC, North Carolina.
Good player. I mean, we always thought he was very strong back there, wasn't he? But
UNC Wilmington, I should say. Yeah, he was the Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Spent some time as well on the PDL side with the Ottawa Fury during their 2013 season and the Portland Phoenix during the 2014 season. On trial with the Revolution and Rapids, and signed with the Energy February 11th, 2015. Of course, the Energy kind of shaking things up last week with the trade of Danny Kooning to FC Cincinnati, and bringing back Andy Craven, who spent some time in OKC last year and also was signed with the Sounders.
Well, you talked about, you made a good point about Christian Mutter tapping in that second goal, and great goal scorers do that kind of thing. Well, Danny Koenig did that a few times, didn't he?
Great ball over the top. Rivas with Dick coming way off of his line. I think that was played in from Jadama from the back. Good tackle from behind. Referee says play on as Fernandez just picks the pocket there of number 10, Steve Koenig.
Yeah, difficult night for Koenig at the moment. He's playing up front. Here he is on the ball on his own now. He's surrounded by, 5 grey shirts. Manages to get it to this near side, though.
Near side here from the outside edge of the box. Dribbling now towards the touchline. It's almost like that's the first amount of passes we've seen in the offensive third for OKC as far as putting 2 and 3 together there. So maybe starting to settle in a little bit now. Yeah,
they need to, don't they? I mean, it's 2-0. The Roughnecks, plenty of possession. We don't know the stats at the moment, but you'd say about 60-40 in possession to the Roughnecks. But you're right, Pop, it's the first time the Oklahoma City Energy under-23s have got their feet on the ball, really, and knocked it around a little bit.
How about this? Moreno Valley's up 1-0 on the OKC Energy at the University of Oklahoma.
There you go. Giant killing, grown up with it.
That's what I absolutely love about this. And you have, such the appreciation for it, having grown up with the FA Cup and what it means to those smaller sides, those communities that live and breathe and die with every bit of football that they have, and for the opportunity to come up and play some of the big clubs. There's really nothing like it.
All I will say, my friend, 2005, Manchester United 0, Exeter City 0. Went back down to Exeter, and Sir Alex Ferguson thought, I better put some of the big guns in. Here's the ball over the top, and it's an offside. Down at St James Park, Exeter, it finished Exeter 0, Manchester United 2. Two goal scorers, Mr Rooney and Mr Ronaldo. That's the FA Cup for you, but Exeter made a lot of money from that, of course, getting the 0-0 up there at Old Trafford. And I'll tell you one more thing about that. There was a very young PK who many of you know, I think, am I right in saying Barcelona? I always get that round the wrong way. PK, and he was playing in the Manchester United side that day.
We just had a replay there of the Ayala goal from the 8th minute and the finish from Jaime. Jaime refers to himself as Jimmy on Twitter, so it's hard for me sometimes to not bounce back and forth between Jimmy and Jaime.
Right.
There's a strong tackle there. Speaking of Ayala, right at the edge of the box, that was Van Kampernal, who had to fight to get the ball back, and here's Josh Taylor. Nice ball played in from Josh Taylor, received directly in front of Kosuke, leaves the ball back, and miscommunication there with the Energy. That was a missed chance to have maybe an open go there on Brian Byers on the ball that was played back, and Roughnecks turn away and up towards midfield.
Yeah, it was a bit of miscommunication there, wasn't it? And I think Keats was involved in that miscommunication there, and it was a shame because the Energy were right on the edge of the box. But if you're a Roughnecks fan, you're pleased that was a bit of a mess up there, and here they are on the ball, and they just give it away there.
And Oklahoma City Energy have just tied it up at the University of Oklahoma, 1-1 now.
Of course, Roughnecks' next league game is away in Sacramento, isn't it?
Sacramento, Sammy Ochoa.
Not having such a good time, are they, Sacramento, at the moment? It's a good time to play them, maybe, or will it be the bite back from Sacramento? We'll see. Mr. Buckle and his friend Sammy Ochoa up against the Roughnecks.
Falling on a little bit of hard times, having a tough time finding the back of the net is Sacramento. Still one of the premier places to play. There's Josh Taylor taking away that ball. Nice ball slotted in. Just Jadama had the angle cut down. No trouble for Byers whatsoever as he comes off of his line. Right idea there from OKC. It was going to be a whale of a pass to be able to fit that one in through. Looking for Steve Kooning.
The lone striker, and we say again it's important for that midfield to get up and help him, but it's been hard going for the men in green tonight.
New Balance is the official kit provider for your Tulsa Roughnecks. First year having New Balance on board. With the Roughnecks, you can look for all of your New Balance official team gear at the Tulsa Roughnecks team store. Got the new jerseys in for sale as well, along with training tops, polo shirts, sweatshirts, you name it, they have it at the Tulsa Roughnecks team store.
Yeah, team all in their grey kit tonight, but nothing grey about their performance so far. 2-0 up, and although Oklahoma City Energy, well, here's Pasha.
Pasha, between two defenders, sprays it to the outside for Calistri. Calistri has a run. That's a great job there fighting back there from midfield, or the defender Machado on the outside, because we've seen Calistri. Calistri is kind of deceptive in his speed, and very impressive there from Machado to fight back and bump Calistri off of the ball.
Yeah, and Calistri, we say again, hasn't had a lot of ball on that left-hand side, and he's found it a little bit more difficult tonight in the compactness, shall we say, of the left wing.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe, have they slotted Brady Ballou more towards central now?
Yeah, you're right. He's the sitting midfielder. It's allowing Ayala just to go a little bit further forward. I think he drifts back to this.
He has drift. That's the furthest back that we've seen him drift to the spot. Yes, and here's Ayala coming here on the near side. You know, Dave Vaudreuil had said all along with wanting to perform in the Open Cup that, you know, you should expect to see 7, 8, maybe 9 regulars on the field, and he was good on his word and gave his promise here this evening. Several members of the Roughnecks that were in the starting lineup on Saturday here tonight. Rivas. Heels on the touchline, receives. Nice ball played centrally, running onto it is Fernandez. Fernandez just unlucky there on the touch. Defender came up from his position. Taylor leaves back. Keats. Kooning. Overlapping run to the outside. Kooning just couldn't get there in enough time. That was the defender, Jordan Haynes.
Yeah, just going back to the Roughnecks lineup, I was quite surprised when I looked at the team sheet tonight. Pop, you're absolutely right. And then you look at the bench, and you've got, you know, a very strong bench that David Vaudreuil can go to, of course, including Seven Tusson and Kaffa, to name but 2.
Calistri. Ayala against Taylor. Ayala now. Oh, and then a little shove there at the end from Taylor, shoving Ayala to the ground. Referee comes over and says, we'll have no more of that. There's your first warning, as he will help Ayala up. Ayala almost was able to pull off the move to get towards the byline there, and then after that, we'll see on the replay here. Watch this move from Ayala. I thought he was almost free, just a little pullback move, and the right arm.
Happens in London all the time. The lad from London there just standing his ground, I think. That's what it was.
It looks like a Monday night in Coweta, Oklahoma. Is exactly what that looks like.
Nothing doing. Mr. Matt Trotter, the referee, keeping good control of this game, but it's been a good game. It's plenty of possession, not much for the referee to call, really. Although a free kick here to the Roughnecks.
Roughnecks in the lead after the goal from Jaime Ayala in the 8th minute, and Christian Mata in the 13th. Former University of Tulsa player playing back here on his home pitch. Curling in, and no trouble whatsoever for Eric Dick from Butler University.
No trouble at all, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, when you're a defender, as you know, Pop, you want your keeper coming out, taking those really cleanly, and no problem at all, catches it, and he can roll the ball out and set them going again.
Eric Dick has some, you know, a pretty impressive frame on him. He's a tall lad, well over 6'2".
Yeah, 6'5" according to the
6'5",
stats.
wow.
Yeah.
There's Mata coming back to win one more ball near midfield. Run from the outside on Brady, covered up well by the midfielder. Mata working with Calistri. Knocked down from midfield, and Oklahoma City now with Melich. Maybe a bit too aggressive there from Melich. I want to say thank you to the University of Tulsa for hosting here at the Open Cup. Just a great local facility here on the campus of TU. The field is in great shape, and the campus is looking absolutely beautiful this time of year.
Really is a great surface, isn't it? As I said, I walked on it before the game, and it's just the most beautiful surface to play on.
course, a lot of these state high school championship games were played here over the weekend. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes, not a bad weekend from high school point of view. Fort Gibson winning on penalties in the 4A, Bishop Kelly the 5A, and then Broken Arrow won it on penalties in the 6A. That's boys, of course.
Kosuke. Here's Fernandez. Chip in over the top, looking for Calistri. Calistri in front of Taylor to the byline, and a corner now for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, Calistri just getting into the game. I'm not saying he's done anything wrong, he just hasn't had a lot of the ball, but he's gone across to the far side now to take this in-swinging corner. There's
Mata's goal on the replay, the second goal of the night, and we'll see the replay from behind the net, and there's the follow-through. On the corner, Jadama goes up to win that one in the air. Mata with the turn in the left. Not much room, though, there for Christian Mata, who was looking for goal number 2 in the brace on the night.
Jadama wins a lot in the air, doesn't he? He's up from the back.
Yes, he does.
6'1".
And at some point this season, you just got that feeling that Jadama's going to finish one of those.
It's going to be one of those bullet headers, isn't it, that bulges the net up from a corner or a free kick.
There's Jordan Haynes. You saw him on the throw-in. Yeah, the Roughnecks, I think, are pretty fortunate with what they have at the back as far as the offensive push, especially on set pieces, because it's not just Jadama. We've seen Bradley Bourgeois sub in as well. Oh, Jadama got lucky there as he went to the surface, slipped down a bit.
I think, were they claiming for a hand
I think they were asking for a hand. At least Melich thought that Jadama, when he slipped down, got just enough.
Referee may have deemed it accidental. I mean, I have a bit of a bugbear with handballs these days in the modern game anyway. I've seen too many given in my opinion. But maybe just got away with it, or maybe it was referee deemed it to be unintentional.
Fernandez one touch there past Machado. Roughnecks have settled into far more possession here over the past few minutes. Good look there, switching it on the square ball to Paris G. That one may have come off of Ayala. Referee points in the direction of Tulsa.
Yeah, again, going the Roughnecks way, that one. Could have gone either way.
Pasha now took time with that ball, now calling for it back in the center of the pitch. Pasha Kondrukin.
Yeah, played for his last club in Russia, didn't he? But it's welcome aboard, and I think it's a big night for him, Pop. He's one of the players out there that, you know, the coach will be looking at, saying, can he step up from the fringes? Hasn't had much playing time at all, been a couple of substitute appearances. Big night for him.
22 years old, born in Russia, holds a United States passport. Russian second division for Pasha last season. Looking to try to develop another one of those core young players that could benefit from this league. This league, to me, is not only about teams winning and fighting for championships, but it's also about development in the USL. And Pasha's a young man that is here trying to develop his game here in America.
Yeah, I thought he was older than he is. He's only 23. But he's had to be patient, and here he is tonight up front with Christian Matter. Plenty of movement. It's done well so far. I can tell you that San Antonio in that match, we're keeping our eye on a 1 goal to the good. I think, did you tell us that earlier, Pop?
It was tied up at 1 apiece in the Oklahoma City match.
Yeah, but San Antonio...
I did not see San Antonio yet.
San Antonio scored a direct free kick after 17 minutes. They're leading by 1-0. That's the next opponents of the winners tonight, San Antonio or the Dutch Lions.
Any bit of surprise is that we came out tonight and saw Kosuke in the starting lineup? The elder statesman, so to speak,
a little bit,
of the Roughnecks?
I think I'm right in saying, you might put me right on this, I don't think he's missed a minute of the season.
Every minute so far.
Not that he wants to. But that was a good challenge between two honest players.
Quickly on the break to the opposite end. Melich. Oh, how about that tackle coming over from Colin Fernandez.
That was pretty good, wasn't it? Just won the ball there. There's only one winner. And here's Kalisti trying to get down that left-hand side. But again, it doesn't quite happen for him.
A little bit of space here now for Oklahoma City. Room now centrally, Koenig. Back out to the outside of Taylor. As a man wide. Tries to cut towards the byline against Kosuke, and that one well behind the net here as we are in the 41st minute. As we see here this tackle from Fernandez.
That's very fair. That's an unusual tackle, isn't it?
We haven't seen that much that this season by far.
But totally fair and
completely.
You know, no over the top or anything like that. But he's, you know what I think of him, Pop? He's just a great, great unsung hero for me. Big future ahead of him. I think we're going to see him in the MLS before too long. Just going back to Kosuke, who's right on the ball now, you would have thought he would have liked to rest, but I think he's one of those players that sort of will always be in the coach's ear. Play me, play me. I want to play every minute. Keep playing me. And as we know, he's so conditioned. He just, you know, he just loves the game. He loves coaching. You know, we talked about his strict diet. That he's just a great, great guy, and he won't want to be sitting on the bench. But maybe they'll give him a rest, bring Corrales on in the second half, and give him a rest. We'll see.
From behind that's Fernandez that has to pick himself up. There's look at the sidelines here.
Well, that's not a bad bench, is it? Bouchoir in shot there. He'll want to get on. Maybe he might be the one to come on and give Kosuke a rest. And you've got Kaffa down there. You've got Serda and, as I say, Corrales. And then one Ian Sabantussin, who made the USL Team of the Week, by the way, didn't he?
He was Player of the Week, and Kaffa was on Team of the Week after their incredible performances. By the way, Ian has as many goals on the season, the ones that count, as Oklahoma City has scored in USL play. And if you were to add the two that were taken away from the Colorado Springs game, he would actually have more than OKC as a franchise. 7 goals over the weekend, and there are 7 teams in the USL that haven't scored 7 goals yet on the season.
Great for the Roughnecks, isn't it? You know, he's the man on fire, and I bet he can't wait to go to Sacramento and play his trade there. So all good for the Roughnecks. Good signs. 7 goals. Great player.
Ayala, a little bit of a lazy ball there, or excuse me, that was Rivas looking for Ayala.
Just to finish the point on Ian, he's had tremendous service as well, Pop, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Still marveling at that ball from Calistri. There's a takeaway from Ayala. Ayala now with space. The defender hasn't committed to him yet. Touch to the outside there. Defender showing great patience. That is textbook defending there from Van Capernal, who waited patiently, and then when he went to step to the challenge, as you'll see it here, was able to use his speed and use his left foot to take that ball away.
Yeah, perfectly timed tackle. Has to be, doesn't it, in the box, or you give away a penalty. San Antonio have a second on 41 minutes. They are now leading by 2-0.
Coach K with Fernandez. You know, the Fire head coach and director of soccer, Frank Allop, said in a statement of Colin Fernandez that speaks highly of the player development system, as Colin Fernandez was their third homegrown signing. He was training with the first team and started to integrate himself in, and spent the past 4 years throughout the Fire's player development. As we'll see here, a look at the foul and the pull and the tug on the jersey from behind that Paris G has. It's a good look at Paris.
Yeah, he's one of those versatile players for me. He can play in the back four, the back three, or play in the central midfield. And he can also play out wide as well.
William Roberts tracks this one down first. Still trying to funnel everything through Kooning up top. Here's Roberts that takes it away again. Ball on, but well out of the reach of Kooning. We're approaching halftime at the University of Tulsa. Brian Byers on the outlet pass.
Yeah, it's difficult in the modern game when you're playing up there on your own. And as we know, going back to Ian Seventasson or, a Christian Matter, you've got to get your midfield players up to support you, or it's a very, very long, lonely night up there.
There's a giveaway near midfield. Oklahoma City with an opportunity here. And tracking back there is Rivas. We have 2 minutes of time that has been added onto the board here.
The referee has called for a minimum 2 minutes of stoppage time.
And you thought under 23s might have done a tad bit better with that opportunity there. Maybe hanging on to it a little bit longer, wasn't drawing any of the pressure there, and that's something that a lot of these individuals are trying to learn at this level, is the timing and the pace that it takes to play, even at the USL level. Yeah,
it was our friend Noah Keats who just held on to it, and then kind of a hurried ball. And I think the lad up front, Sven Koenig, has worked really hard, but he just hasn't had any contact with the midfield. It's been really difficult for him, and I'm sure the coach, Mr. Spendlove, known by Dave Irvin very well, will be sitting him down in the locker room and telling him how they're going to improve in the second half.
Yeah, Spendlove actually played for Coach Irving there in Wilmington.
Yes, he did, yeah.
I think the only people in the stadium that didn't play for Dave Irving in Wilmington might be
me and you.
Yeah, us. Good fight there from Pasha. Maintained an even better ball there from Mata, and a finish. Wow, look at that. Impressive display as Pasha has found the back of the net here in stoppage time. The first half, and that is the first goal that we've seen so far on the replay here. Watch this.
Well, he just didn't give up. Here it is. He held off the defender, gets another bump from the defender. Great ball from Matta, stays on side and side foots it past the keeper. That's quality play from the 23-year-old. Brilliant and good for him. We said it's an important night for Pasha, important night for Christian Matta, and the two up front linking really, really well. And I think if Dave Vaudreuil can get away with in that respect, then I think he will, and those two have shown what they can do there.
I think both of those individuals need more minutes.
Yes, yeah. Because they play 2 games, don't they, Pop, in California? Reno as well, don't they?
Yeah, they have the trip from Reno directly after, just 4 days afterwards. And that will do it for the first half, with Tulsa leading 3-0 at halftime here over the under-23s from the Oklahoma City Energy.
Good, competent first half from the Roughnecks. I think it'll be a very, very long way back now. There's Pasha in the shot, who scores that third goal, which could be the killer blow, to be honest with you, unless we see, the under-23s come out with something really good in the second half. It's been a really nice possessional game, and 3 good goals scored by the Roughnecks, 3 different players. So far so good, but as we always say, you don't want to take your foot off the gas, keep going and get into the next round.
You are absolutely correct. As you see the Roughnecks there kind of gather, this is something that we become accustomed to now, with the Roughnecks coming together and sharing a few moments before they make their way into the locker room, and they do this during the regular season USL games as well. It is 3-0 Tulsa with the lead over the Oklahoma City Energy under-23s with goals from Ayala, Mata, and the very first goal that we've seen scored from Pasha Kondrakan in stoppage time. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you. We will take a timeout. Oh, we want to do highlights here first before we go take a timeout? All right, yeah, we'll show some highlights here.
Well, there are plenty of them, Pop, so we're going to do our best to get through them. Here they come. There's Dave Vaudreuil in his suit and tie. Always looks a sharp young man, doesn't he? And very relaxed. Here's the first goal.
That's the cross there that's set up that comes directly to Ayala. That was just 8 minutes in.
And that's good for Ayala, isn't it, to get that goal?
Here's Calistri. Calistri's cross there, settled, brought down.
That was a good work goal. Calistri hasn't been in the game a lot in the first half, but that was a quality cross there. In it comes, there it is, here it is for a third time, and a shot through a sea of legs.
I was trying to see it. Was that Rivas or Brady Ballou that actually got a piece of that on back out, or maybe it was part of the keeper?
I think it was the keeper.
Either one, it was still a good work rate, and there's the follow-through there from Christian Mata.
Well, you made a good point. Look, he's only 6 yards out, and many a goal scorer have done exactly that. And I've, the great Gerd Muller that I've compared Mata to, similar sort of run and stooping style. He scored many a goal from there, and that was good. That was 2-0.
Yeah, here's the build-up from OKC, and maybe there was where the Energy wanted the handball. How about this tackle from Fernandez that came through and just stopped progress immediately?
Very unusual. And then right on stoppage time, this could be the killer blow. Here's Pasha, never giving up. You know, good at it. He's only 23 years old. He was not going to give that one up. But don't take away from Christian Mata here, because that was a lovely ball from him. He could have easily gone onto his left foot and had a shot, but no, he put his friend in, and there we are in the shadows. 3-0, and as I said, Pop, it's going to be a very, very long way back now for Oklahoma Energy under 23s, 3-0 down.
Maybe shades of Christian Mata from 2015 here at the University of Tulsa. Maybe it's just a little bit of home cooking is all that Christian Mata needed. We'll take a timeout and come back next with more on the halftime show after this. This is Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
First and foremost, Tulsa has a great history. You know, even growing up in Connecticut, I was well aware of Roughnecks when they won Soccer Bowl, and played against Victor Moreland and probably played against a couple other guys. And Victor and I know each other, but I was well aware of the history here. I know that there is seems to me to be a very deep desire to have a team to root for, and that's our number one asset is our players and our coaching staff. And we need to get out in the community and make ourselves available and kind of spread the message. For me, the message is, hey, there are some very high-level players here who are going to play a certain style of play. Guys who played at much bigger, on bigger stages. Kafa's played in La Liga for 2 years. Even Donovan Ricketts, who's here as a coach first and a player second, he brings in 2 MLS Cups, an MLS Goalkeeper of the Year, 100 caps for Jamaica as their number one guy, and playing over in England. Those are the type of players that everybody has to respect, whether it's a kid in the youth organization or a fan or someone like myself who grew up watching, played in college, and whatever level people played. There are people out here now who know the game, and we've got to make it be known that, hey, there's a team here that on paper has a lot of experience, a lot of high-level experience in some of the professional leagues all over the world, and it's our job to get the word out there and then to perform on the field and make them come back. The goals that we've always stated, within the coaching staff and the front office and the players themselves internally is definitely want to make the playoffs. We wanted to build the team to go far into the Open Cup. We're not talking a round or two. We're talking about get into the USL, NASL, and MLS level and go make a run at the Open Cup. Obviously, we're not expecting that we're going to knock off all the best teams, but we're going to sure make a run at it. You never want to go in unprepared. You want to know, you might just pick up 3 or 4 little things that you make a note of and you tactically adjust for. It's never good to go into any game not knowing your opponent at any level. And so we're going to go in there and take notes, and I'll have a couple of guys in the staff looking at different pieces. I'll be looking at the big picture, but we'll go in there and go to school on the whole thing on both teams.
As a competitor, in your experience with the Open Cup, with kind of the way that it falls now in the middle of the season, how is that to adjust from not only from a coaching standpoint, from a player standpoint of having this drop right in the middle of the season?
I look at it as like it's exciting, instead of having 7 days off or 6 days off every week, every once in a while, as long as you're not, obviously this is a little bit extreme having 5 games in 13, 14 days, but, we've had too much time off. So it gives us a chance to rotate. There's something about knockout. I think the feeling is that MLS teams, a lot of them don't put enough emphasis into it, and they are not showing. They're not too worried if they get knocked out of the Open Cup because they're so focused on the league and qualifying for the playoffs. But for us, if they haven't heard it and they haven't been paying attention, for us it's going to be a huge priority because it's something that I think. Just that mentality of you've got to win or go home and put everything on the line. A game against Colorado Springs, I was not that concerned. If we had gotten a point, fine. We lost the game, fine. We got 3 points. In the big picture, it was not as important as the big picture. You have to manage the whole season as a player and as a coach. The Open Cup's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
It's like go out there, don't show too much respect for your opponent. Go out there and play 100%. I definitely don't want us to come out and be soft and be like this is just a game against a lower tier team. We look at it as like it's an intensity question and it's a mentality question. And no matter who we get, we expect to go out there and make it very clear and take care of business and advance to the next round. We built the team with the idea that we're going to compete with everyone within the United States. We catch anybody at the Open Cup, we catch anybody here in the league or anybody in an exhibition. We have enough Latin ability and experience that we could go play exhibitions against Mexican teams, against teams from international. Tactically, we're built for that. We're already thinking about different variations in the formation, playing against different styles. So we be ambitious. We set our plan and we train and prepare, and for each game we expect to have a game plan that says this is how we're going to go win the game.
Welcome back to the University of Tulsa as the Tulsa Roughnecks in Open Cup play with the 3-0 lead here at halftime. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders, and well, we expected this Tulsa side to come out and to have a very, energetic performance. No pun intended, by the way, for the Oklahoma City Energy. But Coach Vaudeville talked about this. This is what he wanted. He wanted a strong side to come out here to set the tone early because he has made it known that he wants to advance in the Open Cup.
Yeah, advance in the Open Cup, and as we said in commentary, it builds on from those 2 impressive wins last Thursday and Saturday. We want things to keep going, and it doesn't matter who you're playing, what the opposition are. We've got a great squad of players, and they really have taken it from that whistle pot, and they had the lion's share of possession.
They absolutely have, and things got it started off early in the 8th minute with the first goal of the night, and it was brought to you on a great cross there, and with the finish here in the 8th minute, it was Ayala, and that's the first goal there that we find on the finish. As you see, he comes over and gets congratulations there from Colin Fernandez, and what one more look here on this cross, Dave.
Yeah, it was headed out, and there is Jaime Ayala, Jimmy as we call him now, don't we? I mean, and it's good for him, Pop, because he's had to wait his turn to come in. He's had a good game as well as scoring that goal.
Yeah, and I think it's important for Ayala to come out here, kind of set the tone early. And look, Ayala's asked to play one of the most important and difficult positions that Dave Vaudeville has in that central spot during USL play. And Coach Vaught has talked about how kind of in that Mexican style of football where he comes from, it's more about setting back a little bit more. And Coach Vaught always is wanting Ayala to push further and further forward, and it just gets him completely out of his comfort zone. And it looks like he's starting to take steps into that positive direction.
I think he is. And again, let's credit the coach. The coach has asked him to do something. We know he's a good coach. He's clearly having an effect on the players. And Ayala's one of those players that he's really affected. And you're right. He's growing into the season. but it gives the coach another headache now, doesn't it? You've got him wanting a place, and he's done himself no harm in this first 45 minutes.
One player that needs to be called out today so far for his great play is Christian Mata. Coming back here to the University of Tulsa, where he had so much success with the Golden Hurricane. Not only does he have the second goal here this evening, but then gets credit for the assist on the goal from Pasha here late in the game. And as you see here, here's the goal from Mata, and that was simply just a follow-through as he gives the big fist pump into the air.
Yeah, the header comes down, and there is, that's the first goal, I think, isn't it? And then we get Christian Mata with the second one. There it is. There's the goal. And, Christian Mata, as you made a great point in commentary, you can hit a shot from 30 yards. You see that seldomly, really. It's great when they go in, but a lot of poachers' goals, Christian Mata will be inside the 6-yard box. Good for him, because let's not forget, it wasn't too many days ago that he was playing against Sacramento, missed a chance, didn't he? And then Ian Seventussin comes in. Not easy for him. He's done himself no harm tonight, Pop.
Well, we'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll get set for the second half live for the University of Tulsa on Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders, it's a pleasure to be calling this game for you, and we'll be back after this from TU.
Well, obviously make the playoffs in the USL. I think that's the first thing. I'm sure we'll know a little bit deeper into the season after we sign more players, what the level is, but I don't think there's any reason that, we shoot for the playoffs. So, as dynamic and exciting that I hope and I know will be as an attacking team, you have to focus on the defensive end too. I mean, I'm teammates and been real good friends for a long time with Bob Lilly, and I think he's been the standard bearer in this league for, when Rochester won the league almost undefeated for 80% of the season, they gave up 16 goals in 30 games. I mean, an amazing stat that you just don't see very often. And, I just believe, defense wins championships. If we can get goals against in the, we're going to have 34 games, so if we can get goals against in the 25 to 28 goals against range, I think that pretty much guarantees us a spot in the playoffs and makes us competitive where we can go out and beat just anyone in the league and make a run in the playoffs. So, and also the Open Cup, will be built in a manner. Hopefully we have enough team speed and enough technique and enough experience at high levels where I think we should be able to make a good, obviously it's a one-off game and knockout format, so that makes it exciting and interesting. Anything can happen, but we'll be built with the Open Cup in mind as well. To have a lot of success in the league and make the playoffs, and then go as far as possible in the Open Cup. That's the real goals. First and foremost, Tulsa has a great history. Even growing up in
All right, welcome back to the University of Tulsa. There's Oily, the mascot for the Tulsa Roughnecks, hanging out here with some of the young fans, showing off the impressive robotic skills. Joaquin Rivas, receiving instructions from Dave Vaudril, head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, who have a 3-0 lead here at halftime. Well, partner, what do you expect to see in the second half?
Well, I think it's a long way back for Oklahoma Energy under 23s. They've got to get an early goal if they're going to do it. They're going to bring a substitute on, which Pop will tell us about in a minute, number 11 down there. But, if you're the Roughnecks, you just want to keep going, maybe feed a few of the subs in. I saw Dave Vaudril talking to Ian Seventussin, quite a long talk, and I was trying to guess what he was saying. He might be saying, Ian, you know what, we're resting you for Sacramento. I might be totally wrong, but he might just want to leave his subs there and let these guys on the field do the job. But I think if there's another goal in Roughnecks' favour, I think you'd say the Roughnecks are pretty sure about going into the next round of the Cup. But hey, this is the Cup. Anything can happen.
I believe that was Ben Conway that was sent on. We'll get you a rundown of some of the scores here in a bit. And another Englishman is Ben Conway. Was named to the... let's see here. Named to the Wigan Schoolboys squad and led them to a regional cup championship. Played 2 years at St. John Rigby College. 2-time Greater Manchester County team selection. League championship and Region Cup title.
Well, it's not many years ago that Wigan were in the Premiership.
Substitution coming in.
Yeah, so 3 Englishmen in the on the roster.
City, number 11, Ben
Oh, there's a giveaway.
replaces number 6.
And onto a dead run as Ruiz. And almost another mistake. It's back. That one's off the bar. Byers almost beaten there. And wow, we'll get a chance to see this on the replay in a second. There's a little bit unsettled in the back here in the opening minutes of the second half. And OKC just missed out on an opportunity, but sometimes the keeper's best friend is the woodwork, and we'll see here. It's just a bad ball back from Paris G.
Yeah, bad ball back, and then there was Mo Jadama there getting the challenge in. It rather came off the lad's foot and hit the post, but just shows you how quickly this game can change.
Mata settles. No one there with the back heel. And the first time we get to see Ben Conway with the touch. We do have some scores as there is a foul as Brady Ballou is down on the opposite side of the field. I hope that Brady's okay. And while the referee is attending to Brady Ballou, let's take a look at some of the scores that's happening in Open Cup action.
Well, of course, the winners of tonight's game play the winners of the Houston Dutch Lions against San Antonio. That's currently Dutch Lions 0, San Antonio 2 at half time. We'll pick out some other scores. The Oklahoma City Energy after 54 minutes are 1-1 with Moreno Valley, so that's an interesting game. Wichita, not too far away, is it 1, St. Louis 1. And Colorado Springs 0, Tuscan 0.
Here's the service into the box. Jadama almost got there, now settles, pulls back outside of the 18-yard box, taken off of the ball there. But Tulsa, however, recovers here with Fernandez.
Well, you can see that Mr. Spendlove, the coach of the under-23s from Oklahoma City, has really had a go at them at half-time, I'm sure, because they've come out with a lot more energy.
Yeah, a little bit more pressing action as well from them on the ball. Maybe he felt like they gave him a little bit too much time and space with the ball.
That's good from Brady Ballou, picking out Pasha on this near side to us.
And the near side goes head up on the defender. Now plays the easy ball back to Fernandez.
Roughnecks settling into their possession game again now after that little scare. Hit the post.
Sun almost all the way down now, just a portion of the field now with a bit of sunshine splashed on it.
Good win back from Brady Ballou there.
Yeah. That's Ayala trying to fight over there between 2 defenders. OKC comes away with it. Challenge there from Kosuke at midfield, stops the flow of play. Keats with the early going, but taken away there. Slipped in there, looking for Mata. Mata keeps the foot on the ball and curls it into the side of the net, and Christian Mata has secured the brace on the evening. And this is in the 49th minute for Mata.
Well, thumbs up from Christian Mata, and that was a really cool finish. That was just like Joey Calistri, wasn't it? It's the second of the night. Here, that's cool play. 18-yard line, draws the keeper, and that's a real good goal scorer's finish for him. Well done, Christian Mata, and really now, you know, at 4-0, the Roughnecks can just settle down and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, that collecting of the ball there after the challenge from the defender, and then I believe it was the very next touch in which he saw the keeper coming out. You've got to be cool, calm, and collected in those moments and not rush. And Christian Mata there showed the patience that we all know has been there the entire time.
Well, you're absolutely right. And, you know, how many opportunities does a goal scorer get? You know, we spoke to Christian Mata, you know, just informally after that Sacramento game. And he was disappointed because he had a couple of opportunities and he just didn't score. You know, he's had 2 opportunities tonight and he scored both. Okay, with respect to the opposition, you know, we've got a man down. But, you know, that's great play from Mata. And you're right, patience was the game there and he just finished really well. Hope he gets a hat-trick tonight. Is that Keats down there? Noah Keats?
No, yes, it is Keats.
Yeah. Don't know what happened there. I think it was maybe just a little pull. I think he's looking at his right leg and he's saying to his coach, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, and he's still got a bit of a hobble as he comes off. He's receiving instructions here, and now it looks like he's just going to take a knee, and I believe they're going to have a sub. Keats is waiting here, and we will see who it will be, and I believe it's going to be Prosper Figby. Prosper Figby will make the first appearance as Noah Keats from Exeter will, exit this game.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. I think he's just saying it might be a slight strain there, maybe a groin strain or a thigh strain, but Noah Keats, no more part in this game tonight. He's looking a little bit fed up down there. And the lad from Nigeria comes on.
Kosuke, who I'm starting to believe you would have to tie a tow truck around Kosuke's ankles and pull him off of the field. That's the only way you're going to get him to leave.
I think you're right. I think, like I said in the first time, I think he's just one of these players that, pull him off at your peril, but he just loves the game. I mean, I just think he wants to keep playing, 90 minutes isn't enough for him, but maybe he'll get a little run, but as I said, Kaffer's warming up down there, just a few stretches. Whether, the coach might want to put him on there just for a few minutes, keep well oiled, we'll see. Here's Pasha in possession. Offside on the far side.
I think this is a pretty big confidence builder for not only Mata, but I would put Pasha in that same category.
Yeah, absolutely. And, both of those up front have done well. And, it's been a good night so far, 4-0. They want to win the game, obviously, but here's another one maybe.
Pasha with another opportunity, and now he slams it in, and he is now setting on a hat trick with the brace on the night. 53rd minute. Kondrakin.
Well, we'll have a look at the replay, but again, you used the word patience for the last Christian Mata goal. This was patience because he was able to look up, look where the keeper was, and he kind of curled a right-footed shot, past the keeper, and the keeper, Eric Dick. Here's the replay. Look at that. There's just a cool finish. There it is. In the D again, almost identical to where Mata was. And then those two scoring. Ian Seven Tussin on the bench in goal-scoring form. Lads can't stop scoring at the moment, can
I want
they?
to give credit to Rivas there as well, because Rivas, in leaving that ball to allow it to play through there to Pasha, who was making that run on, ends up finishing the way that you want your striker to finish.
And, you're 5-0 down, and you look across for a little bit of hope, and what do you see? One Pablo Kaffer getting ready to come on against you. So I feel sorry for the Oklahoma lads at the moment, because Kaffer's about to enter the fray. Don't give a free kick, lads, in and around the box would be my only advice to the Oklahoma City under-23 defense.
Oh, there's an interesting call there. That call goes against Mata, but that is Figby that was just laying out directly into the oncoming path of Christian Mata. And Figby's the one that put himself into dangerous play. Referee, though, saw it in favor of the Energy. And you're right, and maybe we'll have an opportunity after the game to ask Coach Vaught about the decision to insert Kaffa here in the 55th minute, and maybe this is just to keep him a little bit fit and kind of stretch him out a little bit before they get set to take the plane ride to Sacramento.
I think you're right. I think you're right. And, he'll come on and he'll knock the ball around, and it's not a bad time to come on at 5-0 up, is it, Pop?
No pressure at all.
But still some defending to do, and Judama did well there. Dive header away.
Cross from Roberts.
Do you know, I'll go back to that again with Calistri and Rivas. With respect to them, big players, but we haven't really mentioned them tonight. It's been about Pasha and Mata up front and the lads in the central midfield. It's just been that kind of game. They've done nothing wrong. And in fact, Calistri is going to be withdrawn now. He's done nothing wrong at all, Pop. But it's interesting to me that those two, can we call them flair players, haven't had the ball tonight.
There's Kaffa, who puts on the captain's armband. Toss in over the top to Keening, and boy, had a direct line directly at Byers. That one just kind of sailed over the top of Jadama, and you saw Brian Byers there barking out instructions. Tad bit upset as it was just misplayed there, and they're directly at Byers. Boy, that was a well-struck ball by Kooning.
Yeah, it was. It was a well-struck ball. He had 2 bites at the cherry, but Brian Byers will want to keep a clean sheet tonight, and so far so good.
There's Taylor. Saves it before it goes over the byline. Unfortunate play there as they try to pass back. Mata saves to Kaffa. Kaffa forward on the service from Mata, and automatically making his presence known. Look at that nice little touch there, just past the midfielder. Kaffa so calm, so cool, even in those tight spaces.
Kind of player he is, you know, he's not going to give the ball away. I'm sure they do practice that as well, playing in tight spaces, playing your way out, you know, and then make the space. Just to say, those last 2 goals from Roughnecks were 4 minutes apart, you know, real killer blows early in the second half, isn't it?
Coach made a reference during the coaches show to a little bit of the scrum, so to speak, that we saw Kaffa get into against Orange County, and I said that's to be expected. You see sometimes of that Argentinian temper and expression kind of come out. You know, Argentinian and also Italian. You throw those 2 together there, and what a combination that makes. So you can expect to see some fireworks, and then maybe the cool, calm, and collectiveness kind of sinks in a little bit there.
Yeah, I think, you know, it was a bit of pushing and shoving, wasn't it? But the last thing we want is our main man to be sent off. Here's an opportunity.
Yeah, Roberts with a ball on his foot. Oh, Byers, how about that? Across his body with the right hand to keep the clean sheet.
And can I say that one of the first people I turned to was Mr. Serda, the other keeper, and he was the first one, arms up in the air, clapping his colleague there. Here's the save. Good shot, good curling shot, and there's a good save from Byers. Keeps it at 0.
Byers was already moving to his left in that moment and still kept the right hand there available to come and clean it up on the backside. Kooning with the corner that's there, and there goes the clean sheet and a goal from OKC Energy under 23. And coming up off of the back line was Mark Lindstrom.
Yep, the Swede scores there. It was somewhat of a flick on. We'll see on the replay whether there was actually a near post header, but there's the goal scorer. Lindstrom, the centre-back, as you say, Pop, up there. And, you know, okay, 5-1, but you don't want to give anything away. There it is. There wasn't a touch, and there's Lindstrom scoring from, 5 yards out, and everybody looking at each other saying, how did we concede that one? 5-1. Nobody likes conceding, especially when you're so far ahead.
Hey, well done, though, by the under-23s.
Yeah. There's not been a lack of effort, has there?
You know, what I want to make sure that we highlight here this evening is the under-23s in PDL on its own for Oklahoma City. You know, it's still, in the grand scheme of things, a relatively new franchise as a whole, as are the Roughnecks here.
Yeah.
You take a few years to establish yourself in USL, and that's giving all the credit in the world, because the Energy and USL have had some pretty impressive seasons so far. I know that they've been disappointed with what's happened with them in the playoffs, but regular season has been great. If you are going to build the game in the States, it starts from the lower levels and the academies. And Oklahoma City taking that step to make sure that they have the under-23s playing in PDL, I think is the right step if you're trying to build a franchise in general in this sport. I know that's something that the USL has talked about, that they want to see, PDL sides for all franchises at some point in time. Oklahoma City's kind of, a couple of years ahead of some of the other franchises with this, but I like the opportunity when you can have players, as the assistance flag is up here. I like it that the youngsters have an opportunity to get minutes to improve, because that's what this game is about developing talent and then getting better every time you go back out there, whether it be on the playing surface during a regular game or in a practice session. You get better so you have the opportunity to move up, and these young men do here with Oklahoma City.
Yeah, here to everything you've said, Pop, and I've been here nearly 4 years, and the game has grown just in that small time that I've been here, and it all does start with these younger teams, and you're right, under 23 level, Can we have a few more of those? Yes, I think that would be good for the game. The USL has bumped everything up again, and is now the official second league as the Roughnecks come forward again. And we know how great this game is, and it's strong here in Oklahoma with Oklahoma City Energy, both their teams, and with the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Figby just got there before Kosuke did. Chidama's got this one covered up in front of the goal scorer, Roberts. Back now to Byers, who at one point was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oklahoma. Had signed with the Energy in 2015. A little touch there to the outside. Goes Conway. And sent out a play into the stands to the opposite side of the field, out of the box. And a throw in now for OKC.
Yeah, they've really come at the Roughnecks a little bit here. 5-1 down, but they still press forward. And, if you're the Roughnecks, you've given a goal away, you want one back now.
And out of play. Court Furniture Rental has played a hand in making the Roughnecks players feel at home when they're not on the pitch. Court Furniture Rental, there when you want it and gone when you don't. Assistant says play on, a ball to the backside, and that one will find its way in now. And Tulsa has conceded 2 goals here in the last several minutes. Brian Byers shouting instructions, and that has brought Dave Vaudrell up off the bench here.
Yeah, I think he's saying, why aren't we talking? What are we doing? That's enough. We've given enough away. For the neutral, Pop, what a game. 5-2, fantastic. But it's just a little bit too open now, isn't it? And Dave Vaudrell's making that point, I think. And, he's having a chat with Kosuke there, and, things have got to tighten up.
Yeah, that's the person that you want to go to, because you expect perfection in the back, and you can see Vaudrell now kind of waving his hand, wanting the Roughnecks to push forward here. And everything that both of us know about Coach Vaud, that will not make him happy, because he does not want to concede any goals at all. As a matter of fact, considers that in many instances a loss.
Well, he set himself that target, hasn't he? Wow, that was a foul on Kosuke. He's got, but didn't he set that target, Pop? In the USL League, was it less? Wants to average, a goal a game? No more than a goal a game conceded. I think I'm right in saying that. And he doesn't like giving anything away. And they've given 2 goals away. When I say giving them away, they're not horrendous mistakes, but they've just taken their foot off the gas. Here's the tackle on Kosuke there. Well, as we say, you'd have to drag him off the field. I don't think he's going to go off. He's saying, oh, look at that, But there he is.
Substitution coming in the 64th minute.
Sub here for OKC.
Number 18, Christian Okeke.
Kosuke is going to make his way over to the edge of the pitch.
Number 3,
Kobe Smith is awaiting him there.
Correction on the second Oklahoma City
Kobe's
goal.
trying to get Kosuke to come over.
Off of number 2, Paris G.
They're going to credit that as an own goal off of Paris G.
Couple of goals to tell you about after this attack from the Roughnecks. Interesting goals that have gone in. As the Roughnecks win a corner, Pop, I can tell you that in the game that we're interested in, remember the winners of this game play the winners of the Houston Dutch Lions and the San Antonio team that we know so much about. A goal back for the home side. The Dutch Lions have got one back, so it's now 1, San Antonio 2. And also we got a goal for Wichita, who are now ahead, would you believe, against 1 St. Louis. 2-1. Preki in charge there. That's St. Louis.
Okeke has subbed on. Christian Okeke for the under-23s. Wow, valiant effort there from Mo Jadama.
Yeah, corner came in, there was a header back, ball came in again, and there he was with a bit of a scissor kick there, just a yard over. Here it is.
Watch this.
Ball comes in, headed by the defender, and that's not a bad effort from your centre-back, is
Not
it?
at all. They're directly in front of one Figby.
Oklahoma City Energy still 1-1 at home with Moreno Valley. Louisville City did finish today. They beat the Tartan Devils 9-0. No giant killing there for the Devils.
We talked earlier in the broadcast a lot about Josh Taylor. He was one of the highest risers as far as PDL top prospects, and had climbed all the way up inside the top 10 prospect list in PDL. Here's Keening. Bounces off the back here. Machado cuts to the inside between two defenders. Kosuke diving in on that tackle. Jadama now will play out of the box all the way back to Figby near midfield. Misplays that. And we'll see which direction. Referee's going to point in favor of OKC. There's off of the arm there of Jadama.
Christian Matter still working hard up front, shutting the space down there. Of course, he's on a hat-trick.
Well, Dave, what have you seen that has kind of sparked the Oklahoma City side? Here's Conway. Oh, a nice turn in there from Koenig.
Well, I think Koenig's had more service, Pop, and he's been on the ball more. He's
you're
the
right.
German. You know, he's a good player, and I think you've just mentioned Conway there, the lad from Wigan. I think he's helped as well, coming on as a sub. You know, and there's a little bit of the Roughnecks being sort of 4 or 5 up, you know, sitting off a little bit. So they've had a bit more possession of the ball at the under-23s. But, you know, to me, it's the service to the front man that's done is the difference.
Foul from behind.
Dave Vaudrell looking at his watch there. I think that's Ayala's down. And
Yeah.
we look, Ian's getting sort of kind of warm over there. Kind of loose. Here's the foul. Just a little push in the back there. And I think he just falls on the ball a little bit.
That's okay, Kate. There's a look at the big 6'6" lad. Sven Tussen.
His mother was there, wasn't she, on Mother's Day weekend to see him score those goals, which is good. And Dad, a former very good Swedish doubles tennis player we've mentioned before, so sporting family. And I wonder if he likes getting drenched by the beer all the time from the roustabout.
I don't think that he
enjoys that?
minds it. I think he might prefer one of those showers. Jadama with Fernandez. You know, Fernandez got his first official call-up to the under-14 national team. So he is a young man that has been on their radar for an extremely long time. Signed his contract with the Fire when he was 17. There's a rip down. This will be a yellow card.
Yeah, Mr. Trotter there, he hasn't had many bad fouls to call, but I think that's the right call from Matt Trotter, the referee there, because that's just a blatant pullback from our friend Prosper Figby. Here it is again. Fernandez thinks, I'll go on a little run down there, and that's a blatant pullback, and that in these days in the game of soccer is a yellow card. And it's not exactly central, but it is Mr. Kaffer on the ball.
I will never put anything past Juan Pablo Caffa.
Yes.
This would be an incredible angle, and probably not what he has in mind. Past the two-man wall, swinging in there towards the back post. Defenders do well on the initial, not much on the clearance. Mata had an opportunity, and now off of the deflection will leave for the throw-in, and this will be Brady Ballou.
Yeah, Brady Ballou would like to be on the ball more in this second half. Been quite quiet, but it is difficult. You know, they scored the 2 goals early. Here's Mata.
Oh, Mata, nice turn towards the byline. Tries to drop it off towards the penalty spot. And boy, that defender just took that foot in there just at the right time to get a little bit of a bump on it.
Christian Mata must have turned on a dime there, Pop. There was no space whatsoever for him to do that, but he managed to get through somehow. Did the right ball as well, the pullback. But defended quite well there, actually.
Almost slipped in behind for Conway. Yeah, I'll have to give Christian a lot of credit on that turn. Here's an area where I will not give Christian credit. 2 years ago, while we were in Vancouver, none of us, by the way, had any international cell phone plans. So we were all having to rely on the Wi-Fi inside the hotel in Canada, Vancouver. And we were looking up someplace to go for dinner. And Christian Mata said, "Don't worry, I've got it. I've taken a picture of it on my phone, a screen grab of Google Maps. Don't worry, the restaurant's just a couple of blocks over here." Dave, we walked for probably 3 miles before all of us finally began to ask, "Christian, where in the world are you taking us?" And he was very apologetic, but I will maybe not necessarily trust directions from Christian Mata, especially in Vancouver, because we walked literally 3 miles when he told us it was just right down the block.
He's a cheeky lad, isn't he?
He did, and you know what? For the sushi that we had, it was so wonderful, I would walk 3 more miles for it.
Well, there you go.
Good ball on the throw. Here's a dump, and wow, Oklahoma City now has scored 3 times in a row, and it's 5-3 now. That goal in the 72nd minute, and this one comes to you by the sub, Christian Okeke.
Good finish from OKK, and we suddenly have a game on. How silly I was to say earlier on if the Roughnecks, we've killed it off. Here's OKK, look, in between 2 defenders, gets a bit of a bump, and nothing Byers can do with that one. That's a great finish, and we've got a game, Pop. It's 5-3, and if the Energy were to get another one, 5-4, Dave Vaudreuil will be a little bit disappointed with the way that we've been opened up in the second half. But they've got to go forward now and get another goal and try and kill this off. But still 17 minutes to go, my friend.
Coach Vaudreuil had mentioned, that's a great ball from the back, by the way, onto a dead run from Caffa. Coach Vaud did mention that he had to get their attention a bit on Monday when they came back from practice. Felt like maybe they were, I don't want to say a tad bit full of themselves, as we will see Ian make his way on for Colin Fernandez.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the centre of midfield now, because in effect we've got 3 strikers on the field now, and then throw in Caffa then that I didn't include in that 3.
Svantesson on, and almost gets called into immediate action. Eric Dick has that one covered up. Koenig looking for Conway. Just outside of the 18, Conway tries to cut it back to the inside with the left and then commits the foul from behind after losing. And Ayala.
Well, I think Rivas is playing more centrally. Brady Ballew's certainly out wide on the right. And Ian Seven-Tustin has gone up front with Christian Mata. And it is almost a 3 up front. Pash is up there with Seven-Tustin and Mata. And then the midfield of Ballou, Rivas, and Juan Pablo Caffa. And
boy, there's a pull down. Yeah, that's Figby again. That was just tugging on the shirt there of Mata as Mata hits the turf. On the ball forward from Byers, who played his college ball at Putnam City North.
Interesting conversation going on between Kimura and Dave Odrell. Here's Kaffa. That's, again, a little bit wide for Kaffa, but as you quite rightly said, here's the pullback on Mata. Mata claps the referee now as he gets up, but, you know, anything can happen with the magician on the ball, but it is quite wide, Pop, so you would expect him to dink it to the far post, wouldn't you?
As a matter of fact, Dick has called back one more player here for a three-man wall. Was initially three, and now they'll kind of offset here. Kaffa.
You know what? He did go for
He
goal.
was going for goal, wasn't he? He was going for that front post.
You never know what the lad's going to do with
You
the ball.
do not. Knocked down there by the wall. Talking with Coach on Monday, I wanted him to rank with some of the players that he has played with. Mata now goes back to retreat. Has it, overlapping run from Brady. Brady's ball played into the box there, over the top of the keeper. And OKC now with some space. Tries to slot that ball forward. Kaffa. Even Kaffa, when he doesn't mean to, puts the ball right on the opposite player's foot.
Right. Well, 5-3, you know, cup game, anything can happen. This is the beauty of a cup competition. Now we've got a little knock there to the head. I think the referee having to stop that one. That's on the number 10, Sven Koenig. And the referee will probably drop this onto the floor.
You can see there some redness in the eyes there. This will be a drop now. Play it back to Tulsa. So I was asking Coach about where he would rank Kaffa as far as danger level and set pieces and his accuracy, and he thought about it for a second, and he said, you know, he might be one of the best that I've ever seen.
Right.
And he played with Marco Echeverry in D.C., and Etch was incredible from distance, but as far as accuracy, and I want to see if you agree with this, one of the things that Coach said was not just Kaffa's accuracy, but it was also the pace in which he finishes with. And you saw that the first one on Thursday was about placement to me, but the one on Saturday off of the Brady Ballou run, not only was it perfect placement, but even you commented after you saw it on a replay about how well driven that ball was into the net.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you can float the ball over the top, but obviously the keeper's going to get there. So not only have you got to be accurate, but you've got to put the pace on it, and that's what he seems to do. And I think the modern make of the footballs does help as well. But, you know, credit the man. I mean, I can't say enough about him. He can place it anywhere you want in that 24-foot, 8-yard wide goal, an 8-foot high goal. You know, he can put it anywhere you like. But you're right, with the pace as well as the accuracy, not easy to do at all.
Machado played at Wesleyan. To Taylor, the Englishman. Corner of the 18, Koenig. Jadamba will shield this one off, and a goal kick now.
As we can tell you that Moreno Valley, who are down the road at Oklahoma City, are down to 10 men, and Oklahoma City have just scored, Pop, in the 70th minute. Oklahoma City Energy lead by 2-1.
Still 2-1 for San Antonio over the Dutch Lions. There's a replay.
That's cool play.
Yeah, man of steel is Jadamba.
Jadamba, there he is, yeah. Rivas is definitely playing. We're more accustomed to Rivas being out wide on the right or the left, but he's certainly playing as one of the centre pairs. There he is, right on cue, trying to win the ball in the middle. And that was Ayala jumping there, almost like a kung fu style kick. Didn't catch the man, and Energy want to get on with it, of course.
You're right, Koenig has come to life. I think it's been the much better service, but I will give him credit too because he seems to be more active because he's dropped back several paces, like 5 and 10 yards at a time.
Yeah, he's come short to get the ball, and he's been in the game. He looked a good player, actually. He just didn't have much service in the first half. But credit these lads because they've really come back. What were they? Were they 5 down, Pop, and they scored the last 3? I mean, you know, it's a real comeback. as we get Corrales ready to come on.
George will make an appearance. And this will be for Ayala.
Well, it's still not Kosuke, is it? He wants to stay on. So I would have thought Kosuke will go to the right of the three and Corrales will come on to his left. And I think Kosuke is getting that message now. Ayala's had a good night as we see another goal go in for Oklahoma City Energy. They now lead by 3-1 against 10-man Moreno Valley. Here's Corrales. I'm sure he will say to one of those two, you go across to the right, or Corrales might play in the middle actually. Yeah, Kosuke staying on the left. Corrales will play the center of the three.
That's a good job there from Ian. Kaffa. Wide from Mata. Mata just couldn't get there in enough time.
I think the Roughnecks would take a sort of boring 9 minutes now and get in the locker room, you know, and get home and then reassess in the morning, get themselves ready for Sacramento on Saturday.
Tells you how much of a perfectionist that Kaffa is. He was upset with himself with that ball.
Yeah.
To Mata.
No, it's good to see they are professionals, aren't they? And I'm sure they won't have enjoyed giving up 3 goals and making a bit of a game of this.
Yeah, we may have a foul here.
Was that Paris G with the foul?
Believe it was. That was on Conway.
More problems for St. Louis. Wichita 3, St. Louis 2.
Here's the foul.
I think it was when Paris G was going to ground there. He just caught the lad on the right foot. I think he's okay though. He's got up. There he is. So, yeah, St. Louis having a few funny results this year, aren't they?
Yeah, a bit of a roller coaster ride for St. Louis FC, who was plagued again by more flooding.
But I don't think the Roughnecks get to play them this year, do they? I'll put you on the spot.
I will have to double check on that.
Yeah.
There's a ball that is hit directly at Byers off of the deflection. Byers has it. I was trying to think off the top of my head whether or not that there was a game that was in there. I was thinking that there was.
Cross conference, isn't it?
I believe so, yes, because they went back to the east.
Yeah.
We were at Technology Worldwide Park and called a game on the radio. You know, a very intimate setting there in St. Louis, but right on the river. And with all the rain that came through a few weeks ago, they had more flooding to that stadium after they had just spent all that money being able to rebuild the year before, and our thoughts are with them. That's Kosuke. Oh, that one could have drawn OKC back within 2 as Roberts slams that one off the side of the netting.
Yeah, Kosuke was annoyed with himself there. He just let Roberts get the other side of him, didn't he? But fortunately for the Roughnecks' point of view, he just sliced his shot into the side netting. So, as you say, you know, still a gap of 2, 5-3, but some game we've got on now.
Well, I think you're right. Kosuke was a tad bit upset. Kosuke tried to use his very aggressive play there, tried to shoulder into him, and Roberts is a bigger frame, and Kosuke did not have any movement whatsoever on Roberts when he tried to use his shoulder.
My friend, you're absolutely correct. The Roughnecks will be playing St. Louis FC on Thursday,
Yeah.
August the 10th.
August 10th. We got a ways.
Little ways to go yet, but that'll be interesting to see how far they've come and whether the Roughnecks can continue in the rich reign of form that they're in. In fact, we'll come back to that story in a moment.
Ian just has a poor touch there. Rivas with Kaffa, and somehow Kooning comes away from that in between the two. A foul from behind, and this might be a card. Yes, it will be. It will be a card here on Rivas.
Yeah. Just a little bit of frustration creeping in just before the free kick. Say we got a return game, St. Louis on Wednesday,
On the
August
23rd.
the 23rd. So 2 August games against St. Louis. Yeah, Rivas there, just pulling back.
Yeah, looking ahead to that month. Look, Orange County, at St. Louis, at Seattle, then the 1st of September at Portland. I mean, that's quite the group of road games there. At Vancouver, at OKC, and then not coming back home until September 23rd. That right there, to me, as we have the free kick here. Figby was there in the area.
Wow, this is an interesting, going to be an interesting last 4 minutes. If the Energy were to get something here, 5-4, we would have a bit of a finish on our hands.
That stretch right there for the Roughnecks in August and September is going to be the difference between the playoffs and not.
I think you're right, my friend.
Played out there, and here's Kaffa. Kaffa now automatically with his head up looking. Oh, there's a tough foul from behind it. Kaffa just looks there, turns around, and both arms out to Taylor and says, "What are you doing?" And Taylor is shown the yellow card.
Well, it's interesting whether he actually caught Kaffa there, but certainly it was dangerous play. Let's have a look at it here. Did he actually catch him, or did Kaffa say, "Hey, you know, I'll take the free kick"? Well, referee gave it. It was similar for a moment, Pop, to that last goal that Calistri scored on Saturday at 1-0, because there was Kaffa going down the right-hand side. He looked up to use that sweet left foot to play in the lads down the left-hand side, but the referee blew the whistle for the foul.
88th minute. Tulsa had a 5-0 lead at one point. And the Energy have scored 3 straight goals. Last one coming in the 73rd minute by Christian Oke.
Oklahoma City Energy coming up to the 80th minute, now leading Moreno Valley by 4 goals to 1. So it looks like they're going through to the next round.
Excuse me, OKK. I apologize. Corrales here with Kosuke. Nice one touch there from Mata around the defender. Mata now plays it for Ian. Ian, can he keep his balance there? Taking off of the ball right as he approached the 18-yard box. But a good touch around the defender from Mata, and a great look on a ball played on the ground for Big Ian.
Yeah, and a good tackle as well. And Ian did not complain at all about the challenge. It was a well-timed challenge. No foul.
Brady settles, finds Mata. Ayala. Paris G has acres of space in front of him. Will slow the pace down to a crawl.
Roughnecks have gone back to a back 4 now. Brady Ballou just slotting in right on cue there on the ball at right back. And the Roughnecks will just try and see out this last minute, and then we'll see what the 4th official has on that board. He's ready to hold up.
It's Michael Kapp, 4th official this evening. 3 minutes will be added. 3 minutes of stoppage time will be added. Well, if you're Coach Vaught, what do you take away from this as you head to Sacramento?
Good play from the front men, you know. Nice to have Ian on the field now, but, you know, Pash has done well tonight. Christian Matters taking his goals well. You know, those two have done extremely well. Nice to give, you know, the likes of Calistri and Rivas and Kaffa, who wants the ball now, a run. Defensively, you know, you look at the defence, and he'll look at film, and he'll work with the defence on some of the frailties there.
This is where the Roughnecks have to be careful, and Jadama wins a one-on-one battle there. OKC was the closest energy player, making a run to the center of the pitch. Good ball there, leaves for Pasha. Oh, and Kafa almost with the left. You see both hands go up to the face immediately.
Wonderful ball, and a good lead from Pasha as well, and we'll see on the replay how sweetly he hits this one, but just a couple of yards wide.
Taylor working on a yellow. Koenig had some space, thought that he might try to keep that one on his own. Ballou stepped in front of that wayward pass. Ian with a ball that was intercepted, and Energy forwards upset at themselves that they missed out on that chance.
The other thing you can say, as you know, Pop, because you've spoken to him more than me, is Dave Vaudreuil will give a very honest assessment to his players and to anybody that wants to listen.
Yes, he will. He will not mince words. There have been times when both of us have commented on how well we thought that they had played, and Vaude will quickly jump in and say, well, I appreciate the comments, but I didn't feel like that we played as well as what you thought there, or where we were rusty at times.
Yep, he sees it. He sees them every day in training.
That's going to be a card now for Mata. What would a homecoming be without giving a yellow card?
Yellow card to Tulsa in stoppage time.
There he is, Christian Mata, the local boy, getting that yellow card, former Union High School player. Time running out for the away side here.
Directly in the air off of Corrales. Corrales fighting out. Steps in front of OKC and plays the ball forward. Kafa, Mata. Now for Ballou. Up over midfield.
Well, you could see Pasha
was showing, he was just kind of slipping in there.
Just out of shot there, but he was really saying, come on, I'm in acres of space here.
And that will be it.
Yep.
The 3 minutes of stoppage time are up. Valiant effort from OKC to fight back and score 3 goals, and that 5-0 lead was too much to overcome for the under-23s from the Oklahoma City Energy. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders here from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth to say thank you to our sponsors who always make this possible, Case & Associates. Any apartment needs, look to Case & Associates. They house the Tulsa Roughnecks players when they are at home here in the city of Tulsa. Here's a look at Pasha. 2 goals tonight for Pasha.
Well, there's one of the positives straight away. He's had a great game. He took his goals well, and he's a person clearly that Coach Rodge can call on. There's Ayala. He got one as well. Bit of a mixed night for him. He scored. He did well in the first half. Faded a little bit second half, but he's another player that can play in a number of positions, and I think that's one of the strengths of the Roughnecks. They've got players who can play in different positions, Pop, but he's a positive tonight as well.
See there, shaking hands with the Energy players. And let's have a look at some of the replays from earlier tonight, Dave Saunders. There's the head coach, Dave Vaudreuil, who will be interested to see what his comments are after this game. Oily in the house. Doesn't matter if it's not a one oak or not. Got to get Oily in the mix.
In the right color shirt as well.
Yes. I need to, you know what? Can we take a dance class from Oily?
Here's the first goal. There's Jimmy Ayala there with a close-in finish, and he had a big smile on his face. Here it is again. The ball comes in there from Calistri. There's the header down from Rivas, and that's a quality finish through a bunch of legs. We thought maybe Brady Ballou got a touch, but I don't think he did. Same goal here. There it is. I don't think there's any touch, and I feel sorry a bit for the keeper there because he was unsighted.
Here comes goal number 2. Off of the deflection, that was Ayala one more time creating there, and you saw Christian Mata hanging out in that right spot. It takes vision sometimes to realize, as you see another replay there of the Ayala goal. We'll see the reverse here now of the Mata finish, just following through, hanging out there, being in that right spot at the right time, and all the greatest goal scorers in the world. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Use whatever you can to your advantage. How about this build up here, and an even better ball from Mata on the assist?
Yeah, the assist from Mata was great, but Pasha wasn't going to give up on that, and the lads defending there kind of gave up a little bit, and there's Pasha's finish. And we thought there, game, set, and match, didn't we? They went in at half-time 3-0. That was in injury time, the end of the first half. But, oh, were we so wrong, because a real fight back in the second half.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the game winner's coming up right here.
Yeah.
This is Christian Mata. The touch, the patience there, as the keeper came off of his line, and you see that Christian Mata coming back here. Hopefully this is that confidence builder that he needs, and that very first touch as soon as he gets past the defender, Dave.
Yeah, and that's another positive on the night, isn't it? Pasha scores 2, and here we go with the energy just getting back in at 4-0 down. You know,
that was kind of the start of things
for
them.
It was. There's the Germany played pretty well in the second half. Sven Koenig there, and there is the first goal, and you know, it was game on because came the energy. That was the lad up from the back. Was it? It was the Lindström, wasn't it? The Swede, yeah, getting the goal.
Here's the throw in
here. They weren't finished yet. And that's a cool finish.
Yeah, that's Christian OKC.
Yeah.
Came
cool
on as a
there.
sub.
And I think that's what Dave Vodler will be looking at, that defensive play there. He'll look at that. He'll tighten things up before they go to Sacramento.
This is the one that into the side of the net that could have made it 5-4 at one point.
Yeah, Roberts there with the shot, and there are the two coaches shaking hands saying, well, what a fantastic fight back, Dave Vodler will be saying, because it finished 5-3 and it really was a fantastic game for the neutral. Some pluses and some things to work on, my friend.
Currently, before we say goodnight, looking for the San Antonio score. San Antonio has finished, so it will be San Antonio making their way up here to take on the Tulsa Roughnecks in the next round of the Open Cup. I'd like to thank everyone for watching this evening. For my partner Dave Saunders and to all the production crew, thank you so much for watching Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.